Have you ever said to your friend that math is a boring subject? If you did that, this video is a possibility of bringing your interest into maths. So stay tuned until the end of the video. Hello all, welcome back to another interesting topic of mathematics, which is LCM, least common multiple. What do you mean by least common multiple? Yeah, I know that you know the meaning of least and common. But what is the meaning for multiple? If I have a number 12 and if I multiply this number 12 with another number, the result that I get is called as a multiple of 12 because I'm multiplying 12 with another number. If I multiply 14 with another number, the result that I get will be called as a multiple of 14. So that is what the meaning for multiples of a number. To get least common multiple, what do we have to do? First, we have to find the multiples of a given number. When you are comparing something, we must have two or more than two quantities because obviously I can't compare with myself. I need some other quantities, some more quantities, so that I can perform comparison easily. In the similar way, common states that we are doing comparison, and to do comparison we need two or more than two quantities. Let's say I have two numbers. Since it is a multiple, multiples will always exist for numbers. So now we are comparing multiples of some numbers. How many numbers? Two or more than two. Let's take two numbers, that 12 and 14. Now we have to compare the multiples of these two numbers. How I can compare? In order to compare multiples, we need to have multiples first. Yes, just let's write the multiples of 12. 12 equals to 12 multiplied by 1, which is 12. 12 multiplied by 2, which is 24. And 12, if I multiply with 3, I'll get 36. So on, if I multiply up to infinite, I'll get the infinite multiples of 12. Similarly, in case of 14 as well, I'll get 14, 28, 42 and so on up to infinite. So have you noticed any common thing here? No, right? But in this sequence, if I go further, I get a multiple of 12 as 84 as well as multiple of 14 as 84, which is a common in this sequence. This explanation is just about the meaning of LCM. This is not a correct way to find LCM. Let's find the LCM using a correct method, which is using prime factorization method. Yes, to find the correct answer in an easy way, we use a method called prime factorization. LCM using prime factorization. Yes. In this method, what do? We just find the prime factors of 12, which is our first number, and we'll also find the prime factors of 14, which is our second number. Now I got the prime factors of 12 as 12 equals to 2 times of 2 times of 3, as you can see on the screen. And I can also write it as 2 square into 3. You know that 2 into 2 is a 2 square. Yes. If I go to another number, which is 14, 14 equals to 2 times of 7. Now we got prime factorized form of 12 and 14. What do we have to do now? To find LCM, we need to multiply. Yes, listen to this statement carefully. LCM is a product of highest powers. Yes, this is the twist here. You have to remember highest powers of all prime factors. Now if you consider the prime factors of 12 and 14, we got all the prime factors in 12 and 14 are 2, 3 as well as 7. Now we have to multiply these prime factors. Before multiplying, we need to have highest powers. Yes, that's what the LCM meaning and definition states. LCM is the product of highest powers of all the prime factors. As you can see on the screen, by this method we got the LCM as 84. It's time for an interesting example. There are two friends, Sunny and Neha. Yes, they are friends, just friends. After a very long time, they met in the airport. Sunny is on his way to home after his work. Neha is a traveler who travels around the world. Since they met after 5 years, they wanted to share their experiences and thoughts during the last 5 years. So they decided to wait for some time and go for the next flight. For every 25 minutes, Sunny will have the next flight, and for every 30 minutes, Neha will have the flight. Since their destinations are different, for different intervals of times, they have the flights. For every 25 minutes, Sunny have the flight, and for every 30 minutes, Neha also have the flight. Now, at what time both will have a common flight? This is a question. Because when they want to leave at the same time. To find when they will have common flight, we have to find the LCM, least common multiple of the 25 minutes and 30 minutes. As you can see on the screen, the LCM of 25 and 30 is 150. Yes, we got the LCM as 150. What is this means? This means that after 150 minutes, they will have a common flight. Yes, Neha and Sunny can sit in a cafe and they can speak, they can share their experiences in the last 5 years for this 2.5 hours. And after 2.5 hours, obviously they have a common flight. They have to fly. Yes, this is an example where we can apply least common multiple in our daily lives. I hope you enjoyed this example. That's all for the day. Be curious, solve problems, enjoy learning, and see you in the next video.